If you're thinking about moving to South Florida and Plantation has been on your radar, you might be wondering, is this actually one of the best places to live in Broward County? Or is it just another suburb? Because Plantation is one of those cities that relocation buyers ask me about constantly. It has big tree-lined streets, great parks, and it's right in the middle of everything. But there are also some things that might surprise people once they move here. So in this video, I'm going to break down the real pros and cons of living in Plantation, Florida. The things locals love, the things people complain about, and a few things most people don't realize until after they've already purchased a home here. And make sure to stay until the end because one of Plantation's biggest advantages is something that most people don't even talk about. And it might completely change the way you think about living here. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the surrounding cities, then subscribe below so you can be the first to know about our current market here. My name is Hector Valdez and I'm born, raised, and have lived in South Florida my entire life. My team and I love helping people make their move to Fort Lauderdale, whether it's 9 days or 9 months. Feel free to reach out. Our contact info is in the description and we'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Fort Lauderdale. So let's get started. So before we get started with our list, I first want to give you a quick overview of Plantation. Plantation is located in the western part of Broward County, just west of Fort Lauderdale. It's bordered by cities like Davie, Sunrise, and Lauderhill, and it's about 20 minutes to Fort Lauderdale Beach depending on traffic. The city was actually incorporated in 1953, and it was originally farmland and agricultural land. That's actually where the name Plantation came from. It was literally a farming community before it became a suburban city like it is today. One of the things that still defines Plantation today is its tree canopy. The city is known for its massive oak trees, wide boulevards, and green spaces. Compared to some other parts of South Florida that can feel very dense and concrete heavy, Plantation actually feels lush and residential. Today, the population of Plantation is about 95,000 people, and the housing here comes from older ranch-style homes built in the 1960s and 70s to gated communities, golf course communities, and newer townhomes. Alright, let's get to the pros of living in Plantation because there are some really big ones. Pro number one, central Broward location. One of the biggest advantages of Plantation is actually its location. If you look at a map of Broward County, Plantation sits right in the center of everything. From here, you can get to Fort Lauderdale in about 15 to 20 minutes. Fort Lauderdale Airport is only about 20 minutes away. The big outlet mall, Sawgrass Mills, is only 15 minutes away, and the beach is about 20 to 25 minutes. If you decide to head down to Miami for show and dinner, it's only about 40 to 50 minutes depending on traffic. For a lot of buyers relocating to South Florida, this location is ideal. You get suburban living without being far away from major job centers, airports, or the coast. Plantation also has easy access to the I-595, I-75, and the Florida Turnpike, which makes commuting much easier than other parts of Broward County. If you're someone who needs to travel frequently or commute across the county, this central location is a huge benefit. Pro number two, beautiful tree-lined neighborhoods. Another thing that people notice when they drive through Plantation is how green it is. A lot of South Florida cities feel very flat and exposed, but Plantation has large oak trees, shaded streets, and mature landscaping throughout the neighborhood. Areas like Plantation Acres, Jacaranda, and Central Park neighborhoods are especially known for their beautiful streets and spacious lots. This gives Plantation a very different feel compared to some of the newer master plan communities in South Florida that can feel a little bit more cookie cutter. Here in Plantation, the neighborhoods tend to have character, larger yards, and a more established feel. For buyers coming from the Northeast or Midwest, this tends to feel a lot more like the suburbs they're used to. Pro number three, excellent parks and outdoor spaces. Plantation is actually one of the most park-focused cities in Broward County. The city has more than 40 parks, which is pretty incredible for a city of this size. One of the biggest highlights is Plantation Central Park, which is almost like a resort-style park for residents. Here you'll find walking trails, sports fields, tennis courts, playgrounds, and an aquatic complex as well, and tons of green space. Another popular park is Volunteer Park, which hosts sports leagues, community events, and recreational programs throughout the year. If you have kids or you just enjoy being outdoors, Plantation really stands out for the amount of green space available. But here's something interesting that surprises a lot of buyers. Plantation looks like a quiet suburban city on the surface, but it actually has some of the best shopping and dining access in Broward County, and it's all just within a few minutes. And that's actually the next big pro. Pro number 4, amazing shopping and dining nearby. Plantation sits right next to some of the biggest shopping and dining hubs in South Florida. Just minutes away, you have Sawgrass Mills Mall, which is one of the largest outlets in the United States. You also have Broward Mall, which is right inside of Plantation. And then you have access to Plantation Walk, which has become a major lifestyle and dining destination with restaurants, bars, and entertainment. This means you can get the quiet suburban feel at home, but you're just minutes away from restaurants, nightlife, and major retail. For a lot of residents, that is really the perfect balance. Pro number 5, large homes and lots compared to many parts of South Florida. Plantation offers large homes and larger lots. Many homes were built between the 1960s and the 1990s, which means they often have bigger yards, wider streets, more space in between homes, and neighborhoods like Plantation Acres offer acre-plus properties and equestrian homes, which is extremely rare this close to Fort Lauderdale. For buyers who want more space without moving far west into Weston or Southwest ranches, Plantation can be a great middle ground. Pro number 6, strong school options. Plantation is also known for having strong public schools and private school options. Nearby, you'll find schools like American Heritage School, St. Gregory, Nova Southeastern University, which is near Davie. There are also several highly rated Broward public schools serving the area as well. For families relocating to South Florida, this is often a major factor in choosing Plantation. Now, all of that sounds great, but Plantation definitely isn't perfect. In fact, there are a few cons that buyers don't realize until after they've moved here. And if you're considering living in Plantation, these are things you absolutely need to know. All right, con number 1. Some homes are older. One of the biggest cons in many homes in Plantation is that they were built several decades ago. You'll find homes built in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. That means that some properties may still have things like original plumbing, older electrical systems, outdated interiors, low ceiling heights compared to new construction. Now, the good news is that many homes have been renovated. But if you're looking for brand new construction, Plantation doesn't have as many options compared to places like Parkland or Weston. Con number 2, insurance costs. Like most of South Florida, homeowners insurance can be expensive here. Older homes sometimes require updates like new roofs, impact windows, electrical upgrades, before insurance companies will write a policy at a reasonable price. This isn't unique to Plantation, but it is something that buyers need to factor into their budget. Con number 3, limited new development. Plantation is a more established city, which means there isn't a ton of land left for large new development. Most new housing here tends to be townhomes or smaller infill communities or rental apartments. If you're someone who really needs brand new, master planned, type of community with brand new amenities, you may have to look in cities like Weston, Parkland, or Davie. You're not going to find that in Plantation. Con number 4, traffic on major roads. Another thing that surprises most people about Plantation is the traffic during peak hours. Plantation is centrally located, which is a huge advantage, but also that means a lot of Broward County roads run right through the city. Roads like University, Broward Boulevard, Sunrise, and Pine Island Road can get pretty congested during rush hour. If you're commuting east towards Fort Lauderdale or west towards the Sawgrass area, you'll definitely notice traffic building between 7:30 and 9:30 in the morning, and again between 4:30 and 6:30 in the evening. Now, the upside is that Plantation has a grid-style road system, so locals usually know alternative routes to avoid the worst of it. It's still something buyers should expect if they're moving here. Con number 5, not a walkable city. Another potential downside is that Plantation is not a very walkable city. Most neighborhoods are very residential and spread out, which means you're typically driving to get to restaurants, grocery stores, or shopping. There are some pockets that are becoming a little bit more walkable, like Plantation Walk, which has restaurants, nightlife, and entertainment all in one, but overall Plantation is very much a car-dependent suburb. So if you're looking for a lifestyle where you can walk everywhere, similar to downtown Fort Lauderdale or Las Olas, Plantation might feel a little bit too suburban for you than what you're looking for. But here's something most people relocating to South Florida don't realize about Plantation until they start looking at a map. It's actually one of the best positioned cities in Broward County for jobs and business access. And that's why many locals consider it. One of Plantation's hidden advantages is how close it is to some of the large employment centers in South Florida. Just minutes away, you have the 595 corporate corridor, which is home to major office parks, healthcare facilities, and regional headquarters for a number of companies. You're also very close to Nova Southeast University in Davie, which brings thousands of students, medical professionals, and researchers into the area every day. And then, just west of Plantation, you have the Sawgrass International Corporate Park, which is one of the largest office markets in Broward County and home to companies in finance, healthcare, and technology. So while Plantation feels very residential, when you drive through the neighborhoods, it's actually located right between some of the largest job hubs in the region. For a lot of professionals, that means shorter commutes and easier access to work compared to living farther east near the beach or much further west. And that combination, suburban neighborhoods with strong job access, is one of the reasons Plantation has stayed such a popular place for decades. So overall, Plantation offers a really interesting mix of suburban comfort and central convenience. You get tree-lined streets, great parks, larger homes, and a quieter lifestyle, while still being only minutes from Fort Lauderdale, the beach, major shopping, and dining. But at the same time, it's important to understand the trade-offs, like older homes and limited new construction. For a lot of people relocating to South Florida, Plantation ends up being one of those cities that flies under the radar, but ends up becoming the perfect fit. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to know everything about living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and the surrounding cities like Plantation, then subscribe below so you can be the first to know about our current market in our area. My name is Hector Valdez, and I'm born, raised, and have lived in South Florida my entire life. My team and I love helping people make their move to South Florida, whether it's 9 days or 9 months. Feel free to reach out. Our contact info is in the description, and we'd be happy to help you make a smooth move to Fort Lauderdale. See you in the next video.